If you hood educated, I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you, here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out.
Ain't nobody root for me, now they reposting me. Bad bitches open the door for me. Talking about a couple $100,000, I'm cool, bro, that's too low for me. If you fuck with the ops, stop approaching me. Big AO19 don't go for me. 100K on my neck and it's soaking me. CEO ain't got no nigga over me. Man, these rap niggas groupers, I'm cool on them. If we catch them in public, we move on them. Money poke them out there, leave a bruise on them. And them AR-15 got booze on them. Word in the street, they got money on me. But if I want a nigga, I'm coming on me. Mac 90 on me, 100 on it, and the 12 get on me, I'm punching on it. Skirt, I'm shooting first, it ain't no second guessing. 32 shots on the 32 seconds. I'm putting up if I feel disrespected. You stupid as fuck till I snatching my niggas. Die by my reputation, man. These niggas keep me in their conversation. Won't even tell me congratulations. I don't fuck with nobody, I'm masturbating. They say they got killers, but so what? It's gonna be me or them, I give no fucks. I go to your city and come to your hood with Victor White Lords and post up. No, this ain't no publicity stunt. We pull up and all those sticks at the trunk. I can't fuck with niggas for nothing. I don't celebrate Black History Month. I'm going straight in like fuck a hook. Sweatsuit and some forces like fuck a look. I'm fed for real, free Keon. Shout out CMG, I looked up the juke. And I don't need no nigga vouching for me. If it's water nigga, well, I ain't squashing nothing. My little niggas on go, I ain't stopping nothing. Man, the Drake on my hip, give me Charlie horses.
Had enough of the capping, they done had enough of the rapping. The difference between me and them is I'ma plead the fifth when it happen. What you know about investigation? What you know about facilitation? Talking about what you won't do, but you ain't never been in this situation. They'll do anything for some fame and scream as soon as they get in there. Nigga talking about first 48, don't even know how it feel to sit in there. I'm a visionary, I can see from a mile away, but niggas are lying in your face. You really ain't street, you really ain't hood. You just from around the way, I was born in it. Granted was a hoe, pops was a pimp, nigga, I was born pimping. Since 2007, nigga, I been thugging since cell phone minutes. Hat to the left, Glock on my right, weight on my shoulders. Got me reminiscing back when I was just a head thing about me authentic. I won't lie to you and they on bar. Used to sell crack, used to pimp hoes, used to sleep out the same car. Who thought I'd make it this far? All praise due to Allah. I'm the same young nigga from Walter Simmons, nigga get well in Lamar. I had $30 to my name, bought a half an ounce, posted on the track with it, came back with it, bought a whole ounce, started selling grounds out the whole ounce, sleeping with roaches. Had to get off my ass and give me some motion. Then tragedy struck, they hit my little nigga. My heart was broke, I was still posting, scraping up chain, praying for a change, nigga, I was still hoping. Something had to give, shit give me chills, still can't believe this. Everybody asking me for a handout like it was easy. What the fuck were you when I was grieving, huh?
I checked on 4 people today. Ask me how many people checked on me. My 4th pill. Cold-blooded demonstration. And the reason why I say that is because of this right here. This man right here is reaching out without reaching out, right? Finesse 2 times is begging for help without begging for help. And what I mean by that is a lot of us men, we don't know how to ask for help. You know, sometimes we just expect people to know when we going through things. And it don't happen like that all the time. But we have our ways of reaching out and saying, hey, look, man, I need some help. Some things ain't going right with me right now. And with him getting online on Instagram and saying that, you know, I checked on 4 people today. Ask how many people checked on me. He is telling people, hey, look, I need somebody to come check on me. I ain't right. And then after that, he says, I'm on my 4th pill. That's a cold-blooded demonstration. Because with him being in the mental mind state that he in, and with him medicating himself with them drugs, a lot of the times when people do that, that's when people overdose. You see what I'm saying? Because here it is, I mean, you already mentally disturbed, and now you trying to medicate with this medication that is super powerful, and people die every day from over medication due to overdose. And here it is, this man is letting the world know, look, I'm on my 4th pill. Ain't nobody checked on me. Look, a lot of people need to understand one thing about mental health, right? Especially mental health dealing with young brothers that have been to the penitentiary the majority of their lives. A young brother that grew up in these, you know, these ghettos all across America, where they seeing friends die, you know what I'm saying? Family members die. And I'm not talking about just from old age and sickness and illness, violent death, stabbings, beatings, shootings, you know, and I'm talking about like these kids, these young brothers are witnessing this stuff. They are seeing their friends bleeding out, dying. You see, they seeing death, shootings, and I'm talking about people getting shot and their bodies disfigured as if like they in a war somewhere. But they in their neighborhood and they can't get away from this, because if they go over here on this side of town, it's possibly going to be them laying on the ground, you know, full of bullet holes. So they got to stay where they from. Now, the cold-blooded part about all that is that takes a toll on the mental. That takes a toll on the emotions. And not to mention, you know, doing time and stuff like that. I mean, like all this together, all of it, it creates post-traumatic stress syndrome. Yeah. But the cold-blooded part about it is a lot of young brothers is walking around the cities right now in your neighborhood with PTSD, but they are not diagnosed. And the only way that they treat this PTSD is with alcohol, drugs, and committing more violence. That's how they treat it. And so when they come from up under, you know, they get taken away from that environment, and now they're living in another environment. Look, the PTSD ain't went nowhere. It's still there. It's just like these guys that come from the Iraq war, the Afghan war and stuff like that. After being in that war mentality, that paranoid mentality for years and months, and then to come back home and into a society where it's like you shouldn't worry about nothing. No, it don't work like that. You just don't shut it off like that. You still got the memory. That memory is still downloaded in this memory bank here. And it plays out even when you don't even need it. That's why we have so many military vets and stuff like that, policemen, firemen and stuff like that got to be treated for PTSD because of the stress on the mind and the emotion of them seeing all this violence. It takes a toll on you. And so here it is, this brother right here. I mean, he spent half his life in and out the penitentiary. He even admitted that he has a mental problem. Finesse, for anybody that ever been in prison before, that done a long time in prison, there's men in prison. I don't know about women in prison, but in men in prison, we call them cutters. And what they do is these people would just get like a sharp object or a razor blade or something like that, and they'll just start cutting on themselves, just anywhere on their body. They'll just cut. And then, you know, the police had the correctional officer had to come and get them and take them to the infirmary and stuff like that, health service, and then, you know, stitch them up. But then they'll do it again. And I remember when I first started seeing that stuff, I was like, man, what's wrong with this dude? Like, why they do that? You know what I mean? And it just wasn't one person. Like, I'd go to a different unit or a different joint, and it'd be like, hey, yeah, no, dude be cutting on himself, man. So we gotta be locked down because they gotta come and get him because he want to cut on himself. Finesse 2 Tymes was one of those people. The man got cuts all on his arm. He even confessed to it. He said they used to help him get away from the pain of the mental stuff that he was going through. And so now it appears that he's going through it now, because here it is. I mean, look, the man just lost his baby mama. They trying to hit him for child support. The man done spent half his life in the penitentiary. All this stress of living and stuff like that. See, one thing people got to realize is this right here, and I'm speaking from experience. When I did all that time, and when I came home after doing all my time, my family and friends and stuff like that, I appeared regular to them. They was like happy, like, dang man, you know, we happy you did all that time and you came home and you ain't crazy. But see, little did they know, I was crazy. I had to put up that front like everything was okay with me. You see what I'm saying? I had to put up that front like, okay, I'm ready for the world. And I really wasn't ready for the world. Because the stresses of everyday living was unknown to me because I was in jail. When I was a young man, I went to jail at 19, came out a full grown man. You see what I'm saying? And so I was accustomed to living in prison where I don't have to pay no bills. I don't have to look for a place to live. I don't have to cook my own food. I don't have to deal with the stresses of children, deal with the stresses of a woman. You know, I didn't have none of that type of stuff. All I had to worry about is, making sure I ain't get stabbed, making sure I ain't get beat up, and, keep myself together so I can defend myself, and just eat, sleep, use the bathroom, and do this all over and over again. Every day, the same thing. Every day for years. Years. And so now I come home and it's like, damn, wait a minute. I got to get a job. And the stresses of that is that I couldn't even get a job half the time. Because of the felony. Because of what I went to the penitentiary for. People looking at me like, hell no, we ain't finna hire you, man. You ain't finna get mad and do all that shit you done went to jail for to our employees. Hell no, we ain't hiring you. You see what I'm saying? Like the stresses of life that a lot of people that ain't never been to the penitentiary are accustomed to. People that do a large amount of their time, a large amount of their life in prison. I'm not saying that it's not doable, but it's gonna take some time. You know what I mean? And for some people, right, the stresses of that right there can cause them to self-destruct. After doing all my time the first time when I came home, I was dealing with it. But then it got tough. It got real tough on me. It got so tough on me to the point where I remember I went to go, because I had to go see my parole officer. I remember I went into my parole officer office in our monthly meetings, and I just broke down. Because even the pressure, even dealing with a parole officer, because you got to look at it like this. Parole officer is really like a threat, right? It's a threat to you being free. And what I mean by that, parole officers are supposed to help you transition into the world. But instead, the parole officers nowadays, they don't do that. They threaten you. If you don't do this, I'm sending you back. If you do that, I'm sending you back. Everything is, I'm sending you back to prison. I'm sending you back to prison. I'm sending you back to prison. I used to get anxiety just going in there to meet him because all he had to do was just say, you know what, I'm sending you back today. And I end up going back to prison. You see? So one day I went to go meet my parole officer. And he's stressing me out. Hey, man, look, man, you need to get a job, man. You know what I'm saying? You need to find a place to stay. I got some other guys that's on parole. You know what I'm saying? They doing this, they doing that. So that's pressure on me. I'm like, damn, they getting jobs and they got a place to stay. Why is it so hard for me? You know what I mean? And so, he would sometimes give me, hookups, go try to work here. I got one work. And I go do that and they'll be like, nah, we ain't hiring you. You see what I'm saying? So, all that pressure. And so one day I just broke down. I was in his office crying, a full grown man. And I believe he realized that damn, wait a minute, this is a little bit deep. This guy right here is not playing no games, but it's really hard for him right now. You know what I'm saying? And it really was. And what I end up doing, what I know how to do, commit crime. And I'm not saying that everybody has that type of, everybody goes through what I went through and then they go back to doing crime. No, because it don't happen like that. You got some brothers that know how to cope, better than others. You got some brothers that got, hookups and plug-ups, or when they get out from doing a long time that, they straight, but everybody ain't the same. So I went back to committing crime. I went back to knowing what I know how to do. And when I started doing that, the benefits of that, I got a car, I got a crib, I got nice clothes. You see what I'm saying? I'm getting the necessities of life. from committing crimes. But then committing that crime sent me back to the penitentiary for another extent of my life. You see what I'm saying? And then the second time when I came home, I was like, nah, you know what? Even if I got to crawl in the mud, I ain't going back to the penitentiary. I'm just not going to commit no more crime. I'm going to do something. I don't care what it is. I used to DoorDash. Yeah, hood educator. I was your DoorDasher, bringing you your food. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about delivering papers. Look, delivering papers. Yeah, I was that guy up at 3 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning delivering your paper. So when you get up in the morning, your paper is already there. I was that guy. Because I was determined then. I said, no, I'm not going back to the penitentiary. I'm going to do whatever I can do so that I can stay up out of the penitentiary. But everybody ain't like that. Let me tell y'all one more story, then we're going to get back to Finesse. I remember one time, it was one of the brothers, right? And he did 28 years. Came home. And by me just having the experience, I know the stresses of life after doing all that time. And so one day, I just called him out the blue. And, you know, we chopping it up and everything. And he explained it to me. And I'm giving him the game. I'm like, look, bro, I know it's like this because I went through it. I got out before you and I went back. You know what I'm saying? And all that. Woo, woo. And the brother just broke down and just started crying. I'm talking about like a baby crying. And he ain't want me to see him crying like that. And I didn't even really know why he was crying like that. And then he just hung up on me. So I said, okay, let me give him a little time. And, you know, I'll probably call him tomorrow, you know, because he crying. You know, men don't like to see other, you know, some in us, I can't let nobody see me cry. So I understood that. So I said, I'll call him tomorrow. And so when I called this brother the next day, this a big old swole bald head. I'm talking about, man, good brother. I called him the next day, man, and he was like, Lord, man, I'm happy you called me, man, yesterday. And I was like, yeah, bro, you know, I'm just checking up on you, man, making sure you're all right, man, you know what I'm saying, making sure your mind right and all that. He said, no, Lord, I was finna kill myself. What? Yeah. This is what he expressed to me. He said, no, Lord, I was finna kill myself, bruh. He said, you called me and you saved my life. I was finna do it, bruh. I'm just tired, man. It's too stressful, man. The people that's supposed to love me ain't loving me, man. I can't get a job. I can't find a place to stay. I don't want to go back to prison, so I just figure I'll just kill myself and get it over with. I wouldn't have never thought in my mind that brother would be thinking like that. Never, ever. But see, this is what we be going through. This is that PTSD, undiagnosed. You see what I'm saying? That we try to escape all the stresses, all the anxiety, all the depression of life just by ending life. So I'm saying all that to say this right here, y'all. Check on your peoples every now and then. You know, because this brother right here, Finesse, that's what he asking for right now. He needs somebody to check on him. And if any of you brothers that listen to my channel or pay attention to my channel that got close ties with Finesse, man, call that brother, man. Check on him. See what's going on with him. Because he's going through it mentally and emotionally right now. It's a lot going on. You see what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of people, that has never dealt with anxiety, has never dealt with depression, has never dealt with stress. You're probably thinking to yourself like, what? I would never kill myself, man. He tripping, man. I wouldn't. Listen, if you never been through none of that stuff, you don't know what you're talking about. You got to go through that type of stuff and then you will understand like, oh, okay, I see why he acting the way he acting. I see why he... Listen, when you go on up here, when it just get too tough for you up here and right here, you want to escape that. You want to get away from that. And a lot of people doing it by medicating, like he doing, on his 4th pill. But not understanding that, look, that medicating that he's doing can end up killing him. You see what I'm saying? I know there's a lot of people in my audience understand what I'm talking about. A lot of people in my audience probably deal with anxiety. I deal with anxiety. I deal with it right now today. And I ain't even in the war zone no more. Still get it. I'm talking about, man, me and my wife go to a restaurant and shit like that, man. I'm like, look, we getting our backs over here. I need to know all the X's at and shit like that. Like, I'm looking around there like I got ops and people done did. So I'm looking around there like I done did something wrong to people. I ain't did nothing in years. But it just still in me. That anxiety is still in me. I don't like people driving behind me too fast and all that old type of stuff. And if I see the police, I'm talking about I got license and insurance, y'all. But if the police get behind my car right now today, I'm like, I got a brick of cocaine in the car and a dead body in the trunk. That's how this stuff done damaged my mind. I still deal with it. I can't shake it. So if you ain't never dealt with that type of stuff, I don't expect you to understand it. But for those of you who have dealt with it, jump in the comments. Let these people know that, man, look, mental health is serious. Emotional health is serious. It's not a game. So again, before I depart, allow me to say this right here. Don't discriminate. Mental health, emotional health, it don't discriminate against color, creed, or age, or your sexual orientation. It don't, male, female, it don't discriminate. This stuff attacks everybody. And being that it attacks everybody, look, check on your peoples every now and then. Call them. Just, hey, look, I love you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, how you doing, man? You want to go somewhere? You want to go ride? You know, let's go to the lake. Let's go fishing. You know, what's happening with you, man? Let's FaceTime, man. What's going on, man? Kick a few jokes or something. Anything. I'm talking to men, women, and you young brothers and sisters. Because a lot of brothers, and a lot of y'all don't know this, but our suicide rate is on the increase. Men, women, young boys and girls that are African American, suicide rate is on the increase. And it ain't never used to be like that. You see? So we dealing with some things here and here that we ain't never dealt with, because ain't nowhere in the hell we supposed to be killing ourselves like that. I mean, like, I come up like we don't do that type of stuff. You see what I'm saying? But something is going on. And I believe a lot of us are just ignoring the signs. And the signs are right there in our face. And we choosing to ignore it. Call your peoples. Call your mother, your father. Call your uncles, your aunties, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, your children. Man, how you doing? You alright? Or if you gonna call them, instead of say, hey, look, man, hey, I'm not doing alright. Man, I need you to come holler at me, bruh. I need to sit down with you. I need to get some stuff off my mind, because I'm not right now. Because sometimes we just need that encouraging word. Sometimes we just need that love and that care for somebody that we respect, that can change it all around. But if we not getting that, and we feeling like we are not loved, and we feeling that we are not respected, and we feeling that we are ignored, then we start making dumb decisions. And we end up being like Finesse, trying to medicate it, and end up killing ourselves. This is hood educated, not lame related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Now, before I depart, allow me to give a shout out to some of the blessings that I received this week. Allow me to give a shout out to 200 Bird for the $5 super thanks. Thank you. Desert Detroiter for the $8.99 super thanks. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Allow me to give a shout out to Devonna for the $5 cash app. Thank you. Melvin for the $10 cash app. Thank you. Tia Champion for the $5 cash app. Thank you. Barbara for the $5 cash app. Thank you. The Homeboy Twin for the $5 cash app. Thank you. And last but not least, Barbara for the $5 cash app. This is Hood Educated, not lame related. Peace and love. And y'all take care of yourself out there.